Hello everyone, this is Amanita. So in our pick a pile reading today, we're going to be receiving guidance from the angelic realm. So in our first pile, we have an Angelite. In the second pile, this is a white feather. And in the third pile, we have a butterfly hair clip. So the timestamps will be in the description once you've chosen your pile. I also wanted to thank everyone who likes and comments and subscribes. I really appreciate it a lot, especially if you leave me a comment. I definitely will look at it. And I'll see you in your pile or multiple piles. Hello everyone who chose the Angelite. So let's see what guidance we have for you from the angelic realm. We have acceptance. So you might be going through a stage in your life where you kind of have things going on that aren't particularly ideal, but it's just a message from your angels, from the angelic realm, that there's nothing that you can really do about this situation other than accept it. And if you know the 5 stages of grief, that just came in, like, acceptance is the first one, I think. Like, well, first is denial, and then you have to accept, but that did come in as well for this. So having to accept situations and people and places that you can't change at this point in time, and fulfillment. You might have kind of high expectations or ideals, and it's just a matter of having to accept your current situation as it is, because you do seem to be on the lookout for something greater, something better than what you have right now, but without acknowledging the current circumstance and situation that you first must accept. And with 6 of Cups coming in, it's a very fantasy-like, very big dreams, big ideals, kind of just the sense of wanting to have more innocence, like, in play in your life. And the angels want you to have this, of course, as well, but they do want you to also look at things in your life that aren't ideal, that aren't a fantasy, that aren't all fun, that aren't all play, and things that are very real, very physical world that you must accept at this time. You may be idealizing a relationship right now, and there's just a need to accept someone as they are without seeking to change them, and to really be fulfilled with what you already have. It's really transformation, metamorphosis. So what I'm seeing you as, you do work really hard as a person. You seek ideals, you seek perfection, you seek improvement, and this isn't a negative thing in any way, but this is kind of like just a sense of wanting to really improve something so much and idealizing it a little bit. And there's just this need, of course, as we have acceptance, to accept things as they are, to accept people as they are without trying to change people and circumstances and situations all the time, and without wearing rose-colored glasses or idealizing things too much, being a little bit more practical in your life in a sense, and letting things go that need to go, letting things transform that need to transform, because you are going through a transformation process right now, maybe related to your relationships or what you feel that you're attracted to. Attraction, like, I think I do feel for some people this does have to do with, like, your sexuality. You might be realizing things in regards to your sexuality in general. 4 of Swords and 6 of Cups. This is like a dream. This is like kind of living in a dream world. This Knight of Pentacles energy is a very practical energy. For someone, you might have a guy that represents qualities of the Knight of Pentacles as being, practical, organized, very detail-oriented, analytical, focused on his material wealth and material gains in the physical reality, seeking to kind of perfect things in his surroundings and in the world around him, really focused on his work. You might have someone in your life who is like this. That's for some of you. And I feel that allowing this person to just be them without trying to change them is going to be really beneficial for you and in your relationship. It's just a sense of just not being fulfilled and not liking what you're seeing in some way and wanting to change something around you or a person. And it's just having to have that realization that you can't change anyone. You have to take a good look at yourself and accept yourself as you are. And in that process, you transform. And in the process of you transforming, you transform your relationships with others. And with our sodalite, embodiment of Dharma, so this is really what you came here to do, really getting on your path in life instead of living in a dream world or a fantasy world, wishing things were a certain way that they're not at this current moment in time. You need to take a good look at yourself and your situations around you, and you need to transform them and not externalize this onto other people. You need to be the best you that you can be. Maybe embody this Knight of Pentacles energy if this isn't describing you as being someone who's practical and hardworking. Because this is a general reading, I'm going to say that for some of you, what needs to occur is a little bit more dream time, a little bit more fantasy, a little bit more idealization time. But then there's also this, I'm seeing more of a sense in this pile that you have a tendency to idealize things, and there's just this need to kind of like grow up in a sense, like you might be going through a transitionary period in your life with the transformation card, where there's like a change in ideals and there's a change of how you're going about doing things at this point and what fulfillment even means to you anymore. It's just these things, all your ideals are changing right now. So the angels are kind of just letting you know this right here, that you need to accept things as they are, and you need to fulfill and embody your own Dharma and not seek to change anyone outside of you. A need to kind of grow up in a sense a little bit, but of course still have time to fantasize and rest and relax. But there's a need to take a practical look at things like the Knight of Pentacles is doing, and not getting hopeless in the situation though. Because we do have I'm seeing a lot of emotional energy in this, and there's like a need to be more practical, basically, to get more grounded in the earth and see things for how they really are, and just take these step-by-step actions. Because your ideals are changing, and that's really what this is. You just have to accept what's around you, and it's a transformation of your own ideals. So let's see, what do the angels, what would you like to tell pile 1? With the ninth house energy, this has to do with your beliefs, spiritualities, religions, philosophies, higher knowledge, education, foreign, like long distance travels, gurus, teachers, seeking, a deeper meaning behind things, and a change of your beliefs and philosophies in general, and putting them into practical action as well, staying true to your morals and your values, having higher, ethics, morals, and creating those for yourself as well, creating what your philosophies are in life, what are your moral and ethical values. With Libra energy, this has to do with your relationships, it has to do with balance, partnerships, kind of initiation of social charisma, harmony, kind of seeking that harmony and balance in this within relationships, not idealizing partners for some of you who are idealizing someone, and that you need to accept them as they are and not seek for them to fulfill you in the way that you are meant to fulfill yourself, but the way that you need to recognize the way that they show their affection is not the same way that you do. And you need to recognize that this person is showing you love, but you're just not recognizing it. For some of you. For the sun, this is your consciousness. This is what you're focusing all your attention on. This is your self-expression, your personality. So this is really kind of going through accepting of other people's personalities, the way that they're doing things, their beliefs, their values, and it's focusing on what's true to you. Moreover, like a transformation of what you see is important. Aquarius energy is humanitarian, it's original, it's kind of eccentric sometimes, it's kind of cold and detached. It has a scientific approach. It's an air sign. Fifth house energy is about your self-expression, it's about creativity, it's about your kind of love affairs and everything. Moon energy is what is instinctual to you, what makes you feel emotionally secure and emotionally comfortable. So those things for you are going through a transformation right now. The way that you express yourself, the way that you feel emotionally stable and secure in yourself is going through a transformation. And it's important that we don't externalize this onto other people, and we just focus on ourselves and developing our own uniqueness and originality. So let me see if I can see any other messages for you. What do the angels, what do you need to tell? I'm like really focused on this troll right here. It's just a very, in this pile, I'm getting a sense of a very childlike energy, whether it's you or someone around you, and you need to, if this is someone else, you need to accept that person the way that they are and not seek to change them, and only seek to transform the way that you're viewing them and the way that you're going about approaching this situation. If you're the troll, there's a need to get a little more grounded and a little more practical and serious, and really embody being the best version of yourself that you came here to be. And that's what you came here to do. You can only fulfill yourself, really, is what is need to be accepted and realized. You're the only one who can do this for you, and this is why you're going through this transformational process right now. But overall, you know, you're someone who is very creative, though. I'm seeing you're very helpful of a person. It's just embodying that. You need to accept that there's things that you need to do. There's things that you need to embody. There's tasks that you need to take up. And it can't always be fun and games, you know. Of course, leave room for fun and games, though. Leave room for fun and games, but don't avoid any responsibilities, and just know that you are the one who fulfills yourself. So this is what I have for you. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you. Hello to everyone who chose the feathers. So let's see what the message is that we have for you from the angelic realm. So we have forever. For some of you, I just got that someone recently passed away for you, and they do want you to know that this was just, that you're not separated, and they're still with you forever. Their energy is still with you. So nurture your physical body. In the Emperor, there's a need to kind of make a practical plan that you can keep into place, that you can continue doing, you know, a sustainable action plan in terms of your own health and your own vitality, because maybe you haven't really been nurturing your physical body in a way, as in like getting, you know, stretching, or you know, you might be feeling kind of stiff in a way, and there's a need to, okay, just like make this plan that's sustainable, that you can keep doing. Have like a daily routine. This doesn't even have to be your physical body per se. I'm just seeing this as health in general. Needing to make a plan for your health a little better, or like routine in your life, and to be able to make it like realistic and practical so that you can stick to this, you know, for an extended period of time, so that it's not something, this plan isn't too detailed, and that you can continue to follow through with this plan. Also, you know, more time though, I'm feeling, if you are someone who does have a strict routine, to allow yourself a little less rigidity in it, like a little more relaxation or a little more stretching in your routine, rather than, you know, if you're someone who lifts weights a lot, there's a need to do more flexibility training or more like mobility training. If you're not someone who exercises, there's just this need to make this a practical plan for you to care for your physical body, whether that's, you know, eating a little more healthy, or exercise, or a routine that's going to help you out in some way to retain your optimum state of health. With our solar portal, this is about taking action, and this is about doing something. And seeing it come in here is definitely needing to have a plan of action. With our emergence and putting that plan into action, there's just this need to make a realistic plan and a realistic goal, because when you tell your, like when you have a very strict routine, it leaves little, very small room to be able to have a good time, and that's not sustainable. But as well as having your routine too broad, it's, or at least not sticking to it for like the first 21 days to make it a habit. It's important to make things a habit for yourself. Another thing I just thought of was, like, I've done this before with, you can listen to like subliminals to get in your subconscious, or like you can do guided meditations. There's a lot of ways to get something in your subconscious, but pay attention to what you're surrounding yourself with, though, is a big message right now, to make sure like you're not filling yourself up with things that are just reinstating this cycle and this process. But there's just this need to just sit down and get this plan of action going, and to put it into action, put it into fruition, put it into movement, because this is movement. There's just this, yeah, you just have this need to create this plan and to get your stuff ready and do it. And something sustainable, though. This needs to be a long-term plan and a long-term goal that you need to commit yourself to. This is what the angelic realm is trying to tell you, like, sit down and make a plan and go after it. Get moving, because the way that you're going about things isn't progressing you in terms of your health and your healing. Because this doesn't have to be physical either. This can be in regards to emotional or spiritual as well. Like, if you don't have, for some of you, this might have to do with having a spiritual practice that you do and putting into place. And for others of you, this might be something, you know, something that's going to be beneficial, though, towards your mental health. Because the physical, mental, spiritual, they're all connected. So doing this is going to help your mental health as well as your physical health. It's going to kind of help everything. But you need to make this a habit, and you need to make this a goal, and you need to get down and get structured and get this going. And because you're the magician, you're the one who puts this into action. If you are waiting for someone to do it for you, no one's going to do it for you. You've got to do it for yourself. There are guides out there, though. There is ways, there are things that you can look up if you need help with something like this. there are people who are experienced in what you're trying to do, and you can kind of follow their light, and you can kind of copy, you can kind of try to practice what they are doing. So the dreamer or air element, there's just making yourself a vision, making yourself a plan, a goal. You have an idea that you need, like you've been, and I feel like this has been coming through for a while for you, that you need to do this thing, but you just haven't really taken the steps to get it in a detailed plan, get it organized, make it a habit, make sure you're doing it every day, make sure you're taking action on it, making it more of a priority for yourself. If you have been doing this though, this is definitely going to really start to emerge. You're going to start to see the results for yourself. But there's this need though to take action on this, and there's a need to kind of just care for your body in general. Care for your body, like the physical realm. Don't neglect the physical realm is something that I'm getting, you know, make sure you're drinking enough water, make sure you are taking your showers, getting nice stretches in for yourself, having mobility in your body. But I do feel that this is something that you've been kind of thinking about for a while. It might be coming in sometimes like, oh, you know, that would be a good idea if I did this, but you just never really made a plan or an action. And now is the time to do that. They're saying that there's people who have done this before though. They're saying that there's a light that you can follow, there's a trail that you can take to receive guidance from someone else who's already done this before. But there's just this theme of like getting going. It's time to get your action plan ready. So what do you need to tell pile 2? Neptunian energy is very spiritual energy, and landing on Earth stewardship, I do feel is a need to get grounded a little bit for some of you. And it's also very compassionate. It can be a martyr sometimes. It can get into illusions. It's also dreams, imagination, creativity. So this can be, for some of you, this can be a yoga practice, a meditation practice, just getting more in the body in some way for you. Grounding your dreams into reality, grounding your ideals into reality. Gemini energy has to do with thinking, communicating. It's can do with gossip sometimes. It can do with adaptability, mutability in general. So you do have these ideas, you have these thoughts that you got to do this thing, but it's just not happening right now for you. Or it is, or if it is happening for you right now though, it's going to start to emerge. You're going to start to see the results. Ninth house energy has to do with your beliefs, your philosophies, religion, spiritualities. It has to do with long distance travel. These can all be things beneficial for you. It also has to do with your morals. But I'm seeing this as you need to kind of have belief in yourself that you can do this. You need to really stick to this thing, kind of. Just believe in yourself, because it might seem difficult. It does, because a lot of you might not be used to having to follow a certain routine or structure. So South Node energy, this is just you kind of doing stuff that you're familiar with and you're comfortable with. So, you know, a needing for new for growth. Libra energy is balance though, so keeping that in mind, that there needs to be a balance between giving and receiving, and doing, not doing, the physical and the spiritual. It also has to do with like your relationships. It has to do with harmony and balance. And fifth house energy has to do with your self-expression. It has to do with your love affairs, your hobbies. So there's just a need to balance those things, the fun and the work, the physical and the spiritual, the imagination and the reality. Yeah, this just need to put things into action for yourself. And balance the physical and the spiritual and everything is what I'm seeing mostly with this pile. Is there any other messages? Just being centered when we see Libra come through. Finding center. She's kind of finding her center here. So there's just this need to find like your center in general. Focus, like that's a strong theme, is putting your focus into something. And that is what I have for you. Making sure you're nourishing yourself in the physical. So thank you for watching, everyone. I hope this was helpful. See you. Hello everyone who chose the butterfly. So let's see what messages you have from the angelic realm. So we have joy. This is very happy energy. Joy, of course, that joy is very happy. Open your psychic senses. And temperance. So this is about you really following your bliss and following what you love and listening to your heart, listening to your intuition, and doing that. Doing that thing that you came here to do. Following really your purpose is, and what your purpose is to be you. So it's being you, really embodying who you are in the fullest sense. And don't hold back from that too. Don't hold back from being you. I'm really seeing this heart being illuminated and you're receiving messages. I do feel like you're doing this already. And if you're not, you know, do this thing, because your angels be like, come on, do what you came here to do. But really following this joy and following this bliss and following like what this purpose is for you. For some of you, I feel like you have people around you who are not supportive of you, who are really kind of blocking you off from yourself. That was just for some of you though. For others of you, this is like seeing the bigger picture behind things though. Seeing how things are fitting in, like getting past a lot of these challenges, blocks, fears, negativity, and betrayal, and like really coming into your purpose and opening up your psychic senses here from this, you know, the classic wounded healer story of you go through a lot of stuff and that's what makes you such a great healer. You can heal other people with what you've learned type of thing is what I'm seeing. But there's just this need to be open to what your heart is telling you, what your intuition is telling you, and to trust yourself, and to find joy in this, to really do what you love, because doing what you love is going to bring you a lot of prosperity in your life. It's going to manifest all your dreams into reality. So I feel visualizing for you is going to be helpful, visualizing what you wish to see in your life, because she's really, like, imagine her like seeing her joy, seeing this come in, because your joy is what you're trying to manifest here. At the purest sense, at the most heartfelt, purposeful sense. We have a lot of, this is a lot of energy coming in. So I do feel like you have been through a lot at this point, but you're really ready to shine your light. You're really ready to come into your purpose, and you're really ready to transmute all this negativity and manifest your joy, manifest your bliss, manifest what you came here to do. Because there's you've been through a lot. You got all your wands, you got all your accolades, all your awards, and you kind of like, so you're letting go of these defenses, but you're still kind of a little guarded. You're like, I don't know about this. But there's this need to really embrace all that you are and to shine your light into the world. Shine your joy, shine your creative potential into the world. Be you completely, 100%. There's a very joyful energy here. There's this need to really embrace life and to feel the joy, because you've been through a lot of challenges. You've had a lot of blocks negativities, betrayals. You might have had a lot of like energy vampires around you. But there's just a need to let down your guard a little bit though, and to embrace more joy. The angels just be like, you know, we're here for you. Like, feel this energy around you. There's no need to focus on everything that has gone wrong. You're really ready to open up to so much more for yourself and really start manifesting, because you've learned this lesson. You've learned this lesson, basically. So we have a lot of major arcana cards coming in. So now the Hanged Man is here. And with our Hanged Man coming in, there's just this need to just take a step back. Like, as it says, open your psychic senses. Don't try to control anything. Just be you. Just be you. It's actually the most simple thing that you can do, but we've been trained to like think that it's difficult to do. But to just get this higher perspective on your life right now, on everything that you've gone through. And it's like transmuting all this negativity and all these fears and blocks and resistances, and transmuting them into you being 100% authentically you. Manifesting all this joy into your life. Because getting this higher perspective in general, I'm seeing with these two. Gaining this higher perspective, just surrender to whatever's going on, take a step back and look at things. For some of you, your spirit guide has been trying to contact you, and if you haven't been coming into contact with them, this is a confirmation. But I'm also seeing this as like, you do have psychic gifts for some of you, or you are intuitive, and you might, like, doing spiritual work might be something for you. Just whatever it is that you learned is like, it wants to be transmuted and put into purpose, and want you to embody this joy of what you've learned, like this overcoming. With Azurite, it's opening up your psychic senses though in general. Doing like visualization, as I said, like guided meditations. If you aren't really haven't really opened up your channels, that's going to be beneficial for you. It's really time to come into your purpose in general though, whatever that is. With Virgo energy, Virgo is about kind of perfectionism a lot of the time, but it seeks improvement. Virgo's detail oriented, it's analytical, and it's falling on challenges. And Virgo's like, is a great healer too. I wanted to mention that Virgo's a great healer. 6th house energy has to do with your work, your health, your daily routine, kind of mundane physical world tasks, but it's like shining your light in the physical world. You've worked really hard, because we have two, like working, you've worked really hard. So you've worked really hard on these challenges and clearing these blocks and negativities and betrayals. And now it's time to really shine your light in the physical world. The North Node has to do with what's unfamiliar to you. It has to do with your growth. So when you're taking this step back here and gaining this higher perspective and just surrendering to it all, it may be unfamiliar to you, but this is what's going to bring you a lot of growth right now, or you're just in this process of like, you don't know what's going on, but you're having to just surrender to everything that's going on. And this is because you're growing, you know, you're in the unfamiliar right now. This is the unknown. This is unfamiliar to you. You're gaining this perspective that possibly you would have never, of course, could have never perceived before until now. So Pluto energy has to do with death. It has to do with rebirth, destruction. It really gets to the heart and the soul of a matter. There's a very like soul energy in this reading too. This is like the stuff that's happening, well, everything is happening like at the level of the soul, at the level of your spirit. But this pile is really accentuating that, like soul star chakra energy. 12th house energy has to do with dreams, creativity, illusions, imagination, undoing. So this is a very spiritual energy right now. Because with Sagittarius, this is also the Sagittarius card coming in here. So Sagittarius has to do with your beliefs, it has to do with your goals, your optimism, travel, philosophies, spiritualities, religions. So this is just really embodying Sagittarius energy right now. We're in Sagittarius season. At the time I'm recording this video, we're in Scorpio season still. But we're going to be in Sagittarius season, so you're really embodying this meaning and purpose in your life at this time. At a soul level, you're like really only about truth. You're a light bridge of the divine, basically. Like, you're very authentic of a person right now, and to really embody this in yourself. I keep saying embody for you. It's just about being this. And just transmuting all this negativity and trusting more, trusting the universe with the Hanged Man, trusting the universe more, and knowing that it's got your back, basically. And being a voice for this too, being the light bridge, being like a messenger of sorts in some way. Because this is about thinking, communicating. Don't be afraid to be you. Don't be afraid to shine your light and to talk about what you're into, even if it's weird with Aquarius energy. Don't be afraid, like if your purpose is unconventional, if what you're trying to do is unconventional, and don't be afraid to shine your light though, and to move on from what's been familiar from you, to be in the unknown, to be in what you don't know what's happening next. Just trust, finding that joy, really. So let me see, is there anything else that you would like to let pile 3 know? Your heart is gold. You have a heart of gold. And your heart is what's going to bring you literal, like physical gold in the physical reality. And just making sure, you're an alchemist, right? So you can transmute. You have the joy and you have the negativity, and you can bring them and transmute. But this is you within your heart, the sun in here brings out the gold, which is joy. And just this need to just let things happen, not put up your guard. And listen to the messages that you're receiving with open your psychic senses. If you're feeling lost, you have guidance all around you. Pay attention to your visions, pay attention to dreams. And that is pretty much what I have for you. So thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time. Please leave